After obtaining the power of another evil god, I used this power to defeat the evil god who controlled the adventurer. However, it did not completely die, and disappeared from the adventurer's body. This evil god even remembered me, which makes me feel very nervous. At this moment, the maid also woke up from her coma, and was very happy to see that I was still alive. After calming her emotions, I asked her to do something important. At this moment, the adventurer's life was already nearing its end. This farce should be over. After receiving some power from the withered king, Moen's appearance had completely changed from his appearance in the Black Book space. He was wrapped in blue flames all over his body, and there were some blue stripes on his face and body. This is proof that he has accepted the power of the withered king. His hair changed from gold to blue, like a blazing blue flame. He looked at Love God with indifferent eyes and raised his hand, gathering a blue fireball in his palm. At this moment, Moen shouted a spell. Withered flame. In an instant, a large blue flame appeared behind him. Suddenly, countless eyes appeared in this blue flame. One of the huge eyes rose from behind him and stared ahead. Its gaze is cold and sharp, as if it can hold a person's throat, making one shudder. The flame ball in Moen's hand is like a vortex, constantly absorbing more flames nearby, and gradually forming a huge flame ball. Burning! Then, Moen fired the fireball in his hand towards the goddess of love. Quickly, the blue flame ball transformed into a huge blue energy and rushed towards the location of the love god. The blue fireball erupted with powerful magical energy, as if it could burn this forest to ashes. The blue energy quickly landed at the location of the love god and made a huge explosion sound. The figure of Love God was quickly engulfed by blue flames. A dazzling blue light shot straight towards the deep sky. Its light illuminated the entire forest surrounded by darkness. Under the burning blue flames, the figure of Love God gradually twisted and deformed. It is difficult to see its complete appearance from a distance. It lifted its head and opened its mouth, emitting a very loud cry of pain. Ah! It wants to get rid of this blue flame, but due to the excessive power of the flame, it cannot escape from here in time. No! The figure of Love God has gradually been burned black by the flames and is slowly disappearing. Seeing the withering king's flames unleash such immense power, Moen was utterly astonished. He stared blankly at the burning flames and whispered softly, "Oh my, is this the power of the gods? This is too strong." Perhaps it was because he had exhausted all his power, and the blue flames swirling around him gradually disappeared. The withered king may have only given him one chance to use this part of his power. At this moment, Love God suddenly let out a moan. Moen nervously looked at the location where the god of love was, and immediately became alert. It's not dead yet. He thought that the power of the withered king had killed Love God, but in fact, Love God survived such a strong attack. Most of the blue flames have disappeared from the body of Love God. The true form of Love God is no longer in the place where it stood. At this moment, Love God liberated Aluka's body from its blood. Aluka knelt on the ground, and there were very obvious burnt marks on her body. There are still some blue flames burning on her body. Love God borrowed Aluka's body and whispered softly. Unexpectedly, a small insect destroyed my plan, and by the one who counters me best, the withering. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep his gaze on a human all the time. Then, Aluka lifted her head and gave Moen the mysterious smile. She said to him, "I remember you, Moen Campbell. We will meet again." After saying this sentence, it seems that the god of love has disappeared from here. This forest has returned to silence. The blue flame of the withered king has also been completely extinguished, leaving a huge pit on the ground. There is only a thick layer of smoke left around this area. With a gentle breeze, the smoke had already spread to other places. Upon hearing what Love God said to him, Moen froze in place. Huh? He stared blankly at the smoke in front of him, feeling somewhat puzzled. After carefully pondering the meaning behind Love God's words, Moen finally understood. He hurriedly lifted his hands and hugged his head, saying nervously, "No, Love God, I'm just joking. How could someone like me be worth remembering? Why can't you forget that I used to exist?" He didn't understand why Love God remembered him, because of the power of the withered king. Moen believes that if Love God wants to seek revenge on someone in the future, it should look for the female protagonist of this novel, not him. After all, he knows he currently has no fighting power. He hurriedly took a few steps forward and explained to Love God with an excited tone. "Oh, her name is actually Ariel, not Moen. You got the wrong person." Love God. However, Love God did not provide an answer to Moen's explanation. It had already left Aluka's body. Now only Aluka is here alone. Her body was completely charred, presenting a truly tragic and harrowing sight. Because the flame attack of the withered king was too fierce, she lay on the ground and had no strength to stand up again. After noticing that Love God had disappeared, Moen opened his eyes wide and felt very frightened. He doesn't want to be constantly remembered by this evil god. He said with a tone of fear, "It's over. I have been hated by a perverted evil god. What should?" At this moment, Moen carefully considered the current situation for a while. Because in this situation, it was through the power of the withered king that he was able to expel the Love God from Aluka. He felt that if Love God came to find him again, he could also defeat Love God in the same way. After this thought, he felt the tension in his heart slowly disappear. But it doesn't seem like a big problem either. This guy looks intimidating, but in reality, its power is just like that. If I encounter it again, I will borrow the power of King of Wither from the Black Book again. Young Master. At this moment, Moen heard someone calling him. He turned his head and looked behind him, and quickly ran to Moen and hugged him tightly. Seeing that Moen was safe and sound, she felt so happy that she shed tears. Moen reached out his hands and gently hugged Anne, asking her, "And are you awake?" and replied, and leaned her head against Moen's shoulder, and repeatedly caressed his back with her hand, confirming that Moen standing in front of her was real. She didn't expect Moen to evade Aluka's attack and survive. She spoke to Moen through her tears. "Just now, I thought I was going to lose you forever." Seeing Am crying so sadly, Moen gently patted her back and reached out to stroke her head. He smiled at her and comforted her. Okay, I'm fine now. The evil god has also been resolved. Be good, don't cry. Everything is over."